Barney and Quinn didn't fail because they were too similar. They failed because Quinn was the mirror Barney couldn't look into. They both knew how to turn love into a game, how to stay wanted without ever being fully known. But the second their relationship asked for something real, one of them had to take the armor off first, and neither could. Because Quinn didn't just understand Barney's defenses, she reflected them back at him. Which forces us to look at the one flaw their engagement could never fix. When two people are completely defined by their defense mechanisms, can they ever actually trust each other enough to drop them? So let's start with a thing everyone misreads. People think Quinn felt right because she was Barney's type, but she felt right because she caught him. The first time he ran his usual act, Quinn saw straight through it. She didn't buy the performance, and somehow that made Barney want her more. That should have sent him running. Instead, he couldn't stop thinking about her. Because when someone already sees the trick, you don't have to keep performing it. There's nothing left to protect. But it wasn't, she knows the real me. It was, she knows my walls and she's fine with them. Those aren't the same thing. And for a while, that difference is invisible. Because the more time they spend together, the more it stops looking like circling and starts looking like connection. And it isn't gentle. She works him the same way he works everyone, reads him, plays him, stays 3 moves ahead. And the wildest part about this? Barney absolutely loves it. He's not matched by someone soft. He's matched by someone running his own playbook back at him. It feels like being understood on a level no one reached before. But they're not lowering their guards, they're admiring each other's. Every sharp exchange isn't trust building, it's 2 people confirming the other one is good at the same game. They definitely have intense chemistry, but it's built on a game, not on emotional trust. Which is exactly why everything moves so fast. They move in together. She gives up almost everything she owns to fit into his life. From the outside, that looks like depth. 2 people so right they don't need to slow down. But in reality, when 2 hyper-guarded people fast-track a relationship, they aren't skipping ahead to real intimacy. They're running away from it. Moving fast is just a great way to outrun the awkward, terrifying conversations where you actually have to be honest with someone. And it works, right up until it doesn't. Because a relationship built on respecting each other's defenses runs fine, until the day it asks for the one thing those defenses exist to prevent: trust. That moment is the prenup. On the surface, it plays like a joke, a contest of who can be more ridiculous. But strip the comedy off and look at what's actually being negotiated. It was never about money. It was one question neither could say out loud. If I let you all the way in, will you use it against me? His version isn't greed. It's a wall with legal language stapled to it. And she doesn't soften in response. She builds her own wall right back, both standing at the same edge, both waiting for the other to jump first. That's the moment it stops being playful and becomes a test. Each one daring the other to go first. And the cruel part is, that's the exact thing both of them spent their lives learning not to do. Barney built a whole system for getting close to people without ever being close. Quinn came up in a world where reading people fast and never showing your hand wasn't a personality. It was survival. They both learned the exact same rule from different places. The moment you let your guard down is the moment you lose. So ask either of them to go first, and neither can. Not because they don't care, because going first is the instinct they both buried years ago just to get through. And when both partners are waiting for the other to take the emotional risk first, the relationship just completely stalls out. They're paralyzed by their own fear. And here's the part that actually breaks my heart about them. They both did soften. That's what people miss when they write these two off as cold. She gave up the work she loved before there was even a ring on the table, something she'd always said she'd only do for marriage. She didn't wait for the guarantee. That was her, reaching, but they were never soft at the same time. She was at peace with who she was, and he kept trying to fix it. By the time he stopped pushing, she was already guarding the next thing. They were never vulnerable at the exact same moment. And a relationship simply doesn't work when you keep missing each other. So the question stops being, did they love each other? They did. It becomes the harder one. Is love even enough if you can't be afraid at the same time? And this is where the engagement betrays them. Everyone treats commitment like a finish line. Like if you just get there, the ring, the official us, it's solved. But a ring doesn't magically fix deep-rooted insecurity. It actually magnifies it. Living together didn't force them to bond. It just forced them to face the toxic habits they easily avoided when they were just dating. Taking the next step didn't change who they were. It just stripped away all the places they used to hide their trust issues. And once you're fully exposed, the story, "We're so alike we could work," has nowhere left to hide. Which is why the breakup, when it comes, doesn't feel like a twist. They each look at what the other was willing to put in writing, and they see the same thing staring back. We don't trust each other. So they let it go. No villain. Nobody betrayed anyone. The relationship didn't fail because someone did something wrong. It failed because of how it was built. Because just recognizing your own flaws in someone else doesn't mean you're compatible with them. Knowing someone's secrets isn't the same as creating a safe space for them. When you're both too scared to lower your weapons, control entirely replaces trust. Their breakup wasn't some shocking, dramatic blowout. It was just the logical conclusion to how they set things up. But here's the question that lingers. What did Barney actually take from her? Because Quinn doesn't fix him. The show's smarter than that. But she does something almost crueler. For the first time, he feels what his own behavior feels like from the other side. He spent years being the one who never got caught, never got taken. She put him on the receiving end of his own game. And for a moment, he sees it. But seeing it isn't changing it. He understands his pattern more clearly than ever and still drifts straight back toward it. But as we all know, simply understanding your toxic habits doesn't mean you're ready to break them. And that's what makes Quinn different from everyone before her. She wasn't a conquest. She was the mirror. And you can look into a mirror as long as you want. It still won't move for you. So maybe she was never the one who got away. Maybe she just saw him too clearly, too early. It's easy to chase people who get us because we think that's the ultimate goal. But when someone truly sees right through you, it demands total honesty. And that carries a massive emotional tax. Barney wanted a partner who understood him, but he wasn't willing to pay the price of dropping his guard to keep her. That's what Quinn really leaves behind. Not whether someone can see through you, but whether you can stay soft long enough to let them. Ever had a Quinn? Someone who got you, and somehow that made it harder? Tell me below. I'll see you in the next one.